Hello everybody, episode 2, your boy Cito, Beyond the Views podcast, most interesting podcast in the world. I have 2 amazing guests with me. Here we have Iniqua, we got Claire. Cheers, where's your wine at?
Oh my god, what's my wine at?
Cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Alright, let me get comfortable here. First off, thank you very, very much. It's holidays, everyone's busy, but yet at home because we can't go anywhere. But we finally made it. We are here. I'm excited. You guys are officially my first guest.
Amazing.
How does it feel? Like looking at the setup, like just the vibes. Have you guys ever done a podcast before?
No, it's my first time. It's really exciting.
First time?
Yeah.
That's
I'm so glad
crazy.
you're doing this though. This is something that I could definitely see you doing.
Went live on Instagram March. And I started to interview some artists because I just love to hear their stories. You know what I mean? Like being an artist or being an entrepreneur, being anybody that comes up with creative things, it's so hard, and you gotta have that, you know, that courage and power to actually like do it.
Yeah.
Right? And so I received a lot of good feedback where it was like, Cito, why aren't you continuing with your podcast? It's time and it has to happen, and here we are. You know, the vision of Beyond the Views is it's beyond the views. It's beyond the clicks. What your passion is, what is it that you want to do without looking at the views. Views can put you in a stigma of not wanting to continue to create whatever you are creating because you are so focused on that, like, oh, no one liked my picture, or like
You overthink like crazy.
Exactly, like no one viewed my stuff, and exactly, yeah, and so when I came up with Beyond the Views, I thought it's beyond that. It's what's in here.
Nice.
Amazing.
So cheers to that.
I like that.
Cheers.
What?
Cheers.
I like that.
Cheers to new beginnings, you know?
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for coming. Let me take a little bit of this for you. So, you guys are finally here, and both of you have your own stories. With, you know, just sharing a little bit about, you know, first starting off with you, Iniqua, like, you transitioned. I feel like you did a 360.
I was comfortable.
Nah.
I was a little too comfortable in the position that I was at, and I wasn't allowing any room for growth.
Yeah.
Or any room to allow myself to be the best version that I knew I could be.
Yeah, of course. But the thing is, like, what people have to understand too is like, it starts somewhere. So what was that wall that like you just got hit with it? You're like, you know what? I've had enough. I just want to try something new. Was there anybody that like inspired you, or was it a book that you read maybe?
It was honestly just like, it was 2020 as a whole. As you know, we're all aware.
Yeah.
2020 was a rough year. It was just like a nightmare that I couldn't wake up from, you know?
Facts. I feel that.
And I feel like it also was being inspired by people who were where I wanted to be, you know?
Yeah.
I inspired to have my own business. Like, I want to be an entrepreneur. Like, I want to be a millionaire, you know? I want to do things that are out of the box. And Claire, ironically, who was sitting right next to me, was one of those people who not just only inspired me to start a business or, you know, like do something that was out of the box, but, you know, like Claire would know, very well that like my mental health this year was just not where it should have been.
All our
mental health,
all our minds.
You know, we're not there,
so
but
normal. We're all human.
and it took me a while to acknowledge that that was normal, and Claire just kind of like helped me like take that leap of faith, and she kind of like pushed me to like where I need to be.
That's awesome.
You know?
I'm so glad.
And
that's awesome.
Even talking to you like after our shifts at work, and just like knowing that there are people around me that are like like-minded and like where I want to be, inspired me to just be different from where I was, you know?
And do you.
Do me.
Yeah.
And surrounding yourself with people like her that can
your surroundings matter so much. If you're surrounded by people who are toxic, or people who are just comfortable in the same situations and just constantly in this cycle of like never growing, guess what? You're gonna get comfortable and you're not gonna want to expand or learn new things. And it's just always good to meet new people, like especially if they're in like positions, like as you said, of like position that you want to be in. I think that's amazing. So that's good though. That's great.
You know what they say? It's like if you're like the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. What are you gonna learn? You know?
You want
Straight up. And it's like exactly what you just said. Like the most important thing is to surround yourself with, you know, go-getters.
Yeah.
By the way, not to stop anything, but Uniqua and I are rocking the clear glasses. Pretty Little Savage. Yo, these are the Brooklyn shades. I don't know if you can see them.
And these are the London shades.
So Brooklyn. So Brooklyn.
London, I'm gonna see you in a couple months.
Yeah. Are you, Unique, are you from Toronto?
I'm from Vancouver, actually. I moved here when I was 17. So I've been here for about 3 years now. Yeah, that's where I kind of like gained my independence, you know, moving across the province. By yourself.
That's a lot.
It's a lot at 17, and like, to be honest, I wasn't really ready to financially I wasn't ready, mentally I wasn't ready, but I just needed to get away. I needed to get out of my comfort zone. I needed to grow. I needed to learn lessons that I couldn't learn sitting in my parents' house, you know, in a room that they were paying my rent for.
You'd be surprised how much you learn living on your own.
Yeah, you learn a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
You have nobody else to rely on at that point. It's just you and whatever you can do for yourself.
Yeah. Where are you from? Are you from Toronto?
Heart in Toronto. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You can't take me out of here.
Have you guys? No, I don't blame you. I don't want to leave Toronto. Etobicoke, and then like where my parents live is North York.
North York.
401 East End.
Okay, know where that is. Yeah.
East End. The question that I have is, you know, for both of you, the one thing that I admire, and I'm being for real right now, is that at a young age, it seemed like you were already out and about. Look, I won't give you the exact age because I feel like I'm 20, but forever would have left my home at like 21 or 20.
At 18. This one left at, how old were you again?
17.
I left at 18.
I would never picture myself leaving at like that young.
Sorry to interrupt you, no disrespect to guys, but females tend to
I knew this was coming.
a lot sooner than guys. I don't know what it is. I'm not to attack you guys, but maturity levels are through the roof in regards to like females. Like they just mature at that sometimes more sooner than guys. They're not as comfortable in regards to staying in their homes with like their parents. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. No shade.
To make you laugh and understand is like, if it wasn't for my girl, okay, I will remember this day. Either you're gonna leave and move in with me, or I'm gonna go pull the moves.
Jeez.
Straight up.
Yo, I rated Ashley.
I actually rated
straight up.
Good for you.
If she didn't tell me that, I'd be still living with my mom. And I'm not saying this that she was pushing me and she's being all hard, but she gave me the reality check.
It is sometimes you need that. Yeah.
So I thank her till today. And what you said, Claire, is it's fucking true. For the most part, females tend to grow a lot more quicker, a lot more faster. I don't know, like, but I'm pretty sure it's molded you ladies in a way.
1,000%.
Yeah.
My brother, who is 19, I started working when I was 15.
I worked at 13. That was illegal, first of all.
He doesn't work, and I asked my mom, like, Mom, like, why don't you want him to start working? She's like, oh no, like, you know, like I want him to stay focused on school, and and I said, like,
trust me.
You know, what are they gonna grow up?
Where's the growth and the learning experience for them?
100%.
Like they need to be able to learn how to save their money, learn how to learn where does money come from. Because a lot of people, like my mom was the exact same way. She's like, I don't even want you working. I was like 13 years old working. She's like, why the hell are you even working? How'd you make it this job?
Right.
That's another story.
Right.
But I started working at 13. I understand completely. Like your parents will literally be like, focus on school, but it's like, okay, school is not gonna like not to like diss school or anybody that's because I was in school, I didn't finish. But you know, like it doesn't prepare you for reality.
No.
You know what I mean? It doesn't university or college, it prepares you for literally just school and nothing else outside of that. Like reality, like everything else that you're supposed to experience, which is what you do, like, you know, when you're living on your own, you don't get that, you know.
100%.
So I understand completely if your mom was saying that. That's like, oh my gosh.
And going through all the emotions, mental health emotions, going through it all, you know what I mean? Like being a father at 26 and changing my life so fast that it was like, being a mom as a little boy, it was just freaky as hell.
I didn't know you were a father at 26.
I didn't know it was 26 either.
Yeah, Ash, I hope I'm right, but I'm pretty sure I was about like 26.
Do you think you were like prepared, if you don't mind me asking? Like,
I don't think
that for you.
I
don't think anyone's ever prepared to have kids though.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Like,
no, I was not prepared. I was fucking scared.
100%.
And if
you now though, okay.
Right?
I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, nah. Step it up. I'm not gonna come. Yo, chill with that. Chill with that. I think before you guys get to that point in life though, like continue to like grow and being dependent. And I know that you currently, like I said, I'll start off with you, Iniqua. Like you did a 360 with something that's going on right now.
I want to start a cosmetic line next year.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Do you know the name? Iniqua Cosmetics.
It's gonna be
Nix Cosmetics.
Malish Cosmetics.
Jeez.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
Wow. Okay, so let me ask you a quick question. Where did you get that name? What inspired you?
Well, that's my last name.
Last name.
Oh, okay.
Come on,
Tito.
Guys.
That was a trick question.
That was a trick question.
It's okay.
But
Last names are like, for some
You
people,
never know.
you never,
Yeah,
it's
you
just,
never
you
know.
never know. Yeah.
how do you say my last name? Stay quiet. How do you say my last name? Okay, thank you very much. How do you say my last name?
Is it El Trimo? I don't know. I don't even know.
Al Turimo.
Here we are, like,
Okay?
Brandon.
Al Turimo. Buddy, we don't know anybody's last name. Oh, you said Marino, like lasagna or some shit. I don't know, man. But the biggest thing for me is when I think about like a business name, holy crap, I'll spend days, weeks, I'll stress out. I'll go to sleep thinking about it. With this podcast name, I spent literally like all day, all night trying to figure it out, the purpose of it. What's the way you went about it? You said, okay, it's your last name.
Yeah. Like, my last name isn't a very common last name, and anyone I know with the same last name as me is related to me. And when I think about my purpose in life and the mark that I want to leave on people in the world, I want to leave something that's memorable, And I feel like just having my last name tied to a company that is not just a company that I'm starting up to make money, but a company that I want to start up to empower other people would be memorable, Like, I want to leave a mark on the world. I want to be a legend. I want people to remember me for Malish Cosmetics because that's not just my last name, but that's a business that I started up to, to empower people and to like inspire people. It's all about like, from now on, moving forward, and I did have this mindset like last year or growing up, it's like everything that I want to do with a purpose.
Love it. Preach. Preach. And I'm pretty sure you want to leave your legacy with your family, and that's what it's all about. We're put here to experience our own lives and yet leave it. It's like whatever I have going on, it's going to be left for my kids. That's life. It's catchy. It's a good name, and it's a good brand, as you guys can see. I'm always rocking these. You gotta support.
Her branding is amazing also.
Pretty Little Savage. I'm gonna be posting all these links underneath, so.
I feel like branding is everything. And when I say branding, I mean like, like packaging. Everything is like first impressions. When you go on somebody's Instagram page, for example, what's the first thing you look at? You look at their feed, you look at their profile pictures, you look at their followers, you look at, it's the first impression, literally. A boutique, which it kind of technically is because I have like a bunch of different things, right?
Right. So, there's going to be I'm pretty sure that whatever brand you started with, you're going to expand it.
I started with literally just sunglasses, and the amount of different products that I'm selling now is crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
I like went by and I was like, wait a second, now there's this, now there's that.
Sunglasses, necklaces,
but that's what it's about.
Exactly.
Because then you're going to see what's working, what's not working, and what you're going to change.
You learn, it's a learning process. You fail in the beginning, and I'm not going to tell you right now, like I did really well. To be honest with you, I actually broke even within 2 weeks, which was really good. However, like despite me breaking even, there were still a lot of things that didn't succeed. Like like certain things that like I would restock on. Like for example, like like I didn't need to restock on that, for example, or like marketing ways. There's a lot of different like things that you can learn about like when it comes to business.
Right.
But I tell everybody too, like everyone's like, oh, like I want to do my business, like how did you get to here? And I'm just like, listen, don't be afraid to fail. Literally, you cannot be afraid to fail when it comes to doing business, because it's mindset. Literally, it's all your mindset. Do you understand how afraid I was to drop the amount of money that I did in regards to like products and all that? And listen, like when I tell you right now, it was definitely worth it, 1,010%. You miss. What is it?
100% of the shots that you don't take.
It's like, what's the worst that can happen? If you want to start a business, go start a business. If you fail, what's the worst thing that happen?
Well, if you fail, you're gonna fail forward because you're gonna learn from that.
Everything that you consider as a failure, don't take it as a failure. Take it as, okay, well now I didn't do well in this situation. However, what can I take from this situation and teach myself about it? What can I learn for the next, next time when I do want to try it out? What can I take from this situation and like apply to this new this new step that I want to take moving forward?
Of course. And that's the mentality to have. Like the biggest reason why a lot of people don't start what they want to start is because they're just scared that it's going to fail.
Scared, but it's like, you know,
from Amazon, like the owner, like the guy had to get a $2 billion loan to keep his company going. The guy took the risk and did it. If you do that risk, he just wouldn't be where he's at now. The fact that in 2 weeks,
that's crazy. Shocked, but let me tell you right now, everything came down to marketing. That's when it comes to business, a lot of it comes down to marketing. Did
you spend a lot of money with marketing stuff?
In a sense, but I also budgeted. So everything comes down to, like, you have to be really organized when it comes to business, because you want to keep splurging out all this money.
Of course.
Towards marketing. You also kind of test out like what platforms do well in regards to selling. So I found that. Advertising. I found that Instagram stories did really well. Instagram posts, if you ever see on your Instagram feed, it says sponsored. Those are people who literally go out of their way to go and pay to sponsor their product. Clients, a lot of customers, a lot of clientele, all that kind of stuff.
And it's pretty cool because I think you can choose if you want to do like $2 a day, $5.
Exactly.
It's in your budget.
And I think you can choose like
how many days, and you can pick your audience.
Right.
But again, like, it's a learning process, right? You select automatic. I noticed that it wasn't as well in comparison to me selecting the specific ones that I would choose.
Thank you for that. I'm gonna do that. Now with your stuff, where can they find your products? Where can they find these glasses? Where can they find Nico, come close, show that.
On Instagram, it is called
what's your Instagram, by the way?
Pretty, so Pretty. I don't know where I'm looking right now. Lil,
there's a lot of cameras.
There's too many cameras. Savage, SAVAGE.
Pretty Little Savage.
BTQ, so like short form for boutique. You can view the Instagram shop. You can even DM me if you want to place an order. There is a holiday sale at the moment, so.
Go.
I mean, you can still wear these.
You can still wear them.
Clear. You know?
They're not just for like daytime. They're for nighttime swag. You feel it? I mean?
Thank you.
Action. You know, this podcast was about, these things that are just telling us in our minds, in our brains, not to do something, not to go for something because you're gonna fail. And this conversation and this podcast today, this episode was about, fighting those fears. Uniqua and Claire, and I'm privileged and humbled to have them on the show today to share their thoughts on what it took for them to start what they wanted to do, what Uniqua had to do to take a 360 in her life to just pursue what she wanted to do, and it's so inspiring. We're gonna end off this podcast with sharing what advice we can give anybody out there that is struggling to just take that first step forward. And I'm gonna start off with Claire. Claire, like, with everything you have going on, someone that's listening right now, somebody that wants to start something right now, and they're just afraid, just give them one advice of what to do to just fight that.
Just keep going. I know it sounds so simple, but it's literally that simple. Just keep going. I know it's obviously a lot easier said than done to just be able to pick yourself up and go for something, but have that faith in yourself that you're able to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. If you truly want something, I feel like you will literally get up and make sure that you're able to go and achieve that.
Preach.
And the only thing that's gonna hold yourself back is you. It's simple as that. You're holding yourself back, nobody else. It's literally just you and yourself. And if you want a change for yourself, make that change. Simple as that.
Beyond the Views podcast, what is something you want to share with people listening to just get out there and be their best version of themselves?
Well, often more than not, whenever you think about starting a business or just getting out of your comfort zone, doing something that, seems to be out of the norms, you always tend to be just scared of failing.
Yeah.
But one thing that you need to understand when it comes to like starting a business is that you're gonna fail. You aren't failing at some aspect. You aren't trying anything new. Like you're not progressing.
Yeah.
And when it comes to failing, you gotta fail forward, right? Like you learn a lesson out of every single failure that you encounter. And one thing that really helped me was mentorship. So you need to start talking to people, and you need to start being in the same room as people who are doing what you want to do. Like if you want to become a doctor, are you going to go to med school or are you going to go to law school? You know what I mean? Like if you want to be a millionaire, if you aspire to
surround yourself
a millionaire, you need to surround yourself around somebody who is a millionaire, because you're not going to learn from someone who, no offense, is broke or is, just doing the average 9 to 5 who is just, you know, stuck making minimum wage. Like, you need to be around people who are doing exactly what you're doing. You need to shadow. You need to shadow people who are in those footsteps. You need to like follow those people. You need to do that. You need to go find a mentor, you know? And I had to do that. And for me, like, I had to step out of my comfort zone because I had to start talking to new people. I had to not necessarily like take some friendships and put them aside, but I had to change my environment. I had to change my circle. And you're gonna start to realize that when you really are chasing your dream, when you're really doing what you want to do, that you're going to unfortunately start losing people. And you might be upset about it, but I see it as there's always like a silver lining in every single situation, and when one door closes, another one opens. So like, you know, just don't beat yourself up too much about losing people, because it's gonna happen, and it's only gonna be like for the better at the end of the day.
Love it. You both couldn't have said it better. I'm left speechless. I don't even know what to say after this. Just one quick little. But it's a journey. It's a process. You have to trust it. You have to love it. That's the reason why this podcast is called Beyond the Views. Like, do you love it? Do you have a passion for it? Are you going to continue doing it if there's only 2 people in the room watching? And that's the question you have to ask yourself. Honestly, inspired me as youths. Oh shit! I think I said that wrong. Hey, I think the Spanish came out right there. The youths. And thank you very much for viewing this podcast. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Iniqua. And best believe we got more coming.
Skirt.
Beyond the Views podcast. Thank y'all for watching, man. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.